Afilias, and we are in Washington, D.C. Good to see you again, John.
It's great to see you, Larissa.
Thanks. Now, the last time we spoke was at HostingCon, and for those people who may not be familiar with Afilias, why don't you just first go over what it is you guys do and who you cater to?
Sure. Afilias is a internet infrastructure company. So what that really means is that we run domain name internet registries. So, for example, .org or .info. We also run countries like .in for India. About 15 million domains are within our databases. Also, we have a very large DNS infrastructure located on 5 continents with about 18 nodes that run all of those. So, for example, if any of those domains that rely on our DNS, if our DNS goes down for any specific reason, domains for .info, .org, or any of the ones that we run would not be able to resolve on the internet.
Right. You actually spoke a bit about your new managed DNS when we were at HostingCon. What's going on with that? How's it working out?
Oh, it's been great. Recently, we just launched a product called Site Certain, which allows customers to have an emergency failover for their managed DNS. So, for example, they can predetermine backup IP addresses for their web servers. So on a regular basis, our Site Certain product goes out and it queries your web server and says, hey, are you up and running? And the web server comes back with an answer and says, sure, yes, I am. And that's great. It can also go out and say, hey, are you running? And then put in some script in there that says, and can you show me this picture? Or does this sentence come up on the website? When those things both work, that's fantastic. No reason for an emergency response. In the event that either one of those two things don't work, then it goes into a failover, in which it grabs one of the IPs that you predetermined in there, takes a look at it, tests that IP, make sure that that IP is up and running, and then will fail over to that web server for you. So without any interaction from you, it really does all the work.
So your clients must find a lot of advantages to Site Certain.
Oh, fantastic. The real advantage to it is I think that, as we said, we predetermine all of these things, so there's no reason for them to worry. They can be certain that in all events that their web server, when it goes down, that it will fail over to a web server that works and their DNS and their website will resolve as expected.
And this is already on the market, or you're planning to?
Yeah, we launched that about a month ago.
So you're also announcing some new products for hosting companies. Do you want to go into a little bit of detail about that?
Sure. So traditional users have been using our web portal to go in. So we kind of have a few different ways in which you can interact with our managed DNS service. So first off, you, if you were an individual or a corporation, could use our managed DNS, and you don't make a whole lot of changes. You don't have a lot of customers relying on your service, so you can go into a web portal and make the changes manually in there. Well, large web hosting companies, domain name registrars, have a lot of customers that rely on them. So in that event, they can use either one of two things. They can use an AXFR, which is an automated process in which they can act as what's called the hidden master, or they can be the authority on what changes are being made in their DNS, and then send that to us in an automated basis. Other organizations would prefer to use a API, which we are launching very shortly, and it's a fully documented XML-based API. And then they can really program that into their control panel. So the customer wouldn't have to worry about going to our interface. They just basically go into theirs, and they can include it as a nice value-added service or an upgrade to their current DNS that they're offering.
That's really interesting. Do you see a lot of people, is there a lot of demand for this right now?
A lot of demand, yeah. And for one of the main reasons that DNS is not something that's easy to do.
No.
There are a lot of malicious activities that happen on the internet these days. So it's very important that you have a large scalable DNS because when things like denial of service attacks happen or distributed denial of service attacks, they come from lots of places, and it's easy to take down one single DNS location. And that's why it's so important to have not only a large DNS but a globally diverse DNS and an Anycast DNS, which then gives us great flexibility in how to handle those DNS attacks.
So what is the most important reason you think that web hosters should go for your DNS services?
I would probably say cost, because although that's just a simple way to say it's really complicated to build. To have 18 nodes around the planet, to build out an Anycast network, to have a team of people that are dedicated to making sure that it's up, it's running, it's on the latest version of it, that if there are any attacks, that they can identify those attacks, that they don't have relationships with all the ISPs around the world. it's very complicated to do this, and it's not their core competency. Where Afilias, as I said earlier, we have to do this. If we don't do this, then domains all around the planet go dark. And 15 million domains are relying on us, which equates to almost 10% of the internet. So it's a significant amount of people that are relying on us, and businesses as well as individuals.
Isn't it funny to think, imagine if 15 million domains went down, and it'd be like some Hollywood blockbuster. Everyone would be going bananas.
It would be a blockbuster for somebody, but a tough day it'd be a tough day for me.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't be enjoying it. You wouldn't be eating popcorn.
That's right. It would be a horror film for me.
Well, thank you, John, for joining us again on WHIR TV. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to hearing from Afilias and what's going on in the future. Best of luck with the company and with your upcoming travels.
Thanks so much.
Good.
Appreciate your time.
Me too.